Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog. Oh yes, coming at you after a pretty nice track day. Let's start out here. Let's start out here with me not being able to start my bike. So apparently my 2005 R6 does not like starting when it's got a bunch of water in the fucking ignition barrel. I gotta dry it out, get fucking the key in there, do my fucking key, do all this other stuff. Oh man, look at that. Oh, it won't start. It won't turn on. I give up. I take my fucking helmet off. I'm just like, God damn it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here we go. I gotta lick my lips. Gotta lick those lips, and then it starts. Oh yeah, baby. So now we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Take a look at the clouds. This is what I really wanted to show with this fast forward effect when it starts. Look at how fast it's moving across the screen and stuff. It's just crazy. It just goes to show, I mean, how unpredictable the weather here is, you know, at Summit Point. They were saying, you know, 30-40% chance of rain, and they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because 30-40% chance of rain can mean anything, you know. I just love that effect as the clouds roll across the sky. Now I turn my bike off. Yeah, turn my bike off. It's a fucking moment of truth. Is it gonna turn back on? Is there water in the barrel? Oh yeah, it turns back on. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got people coming out. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Thank you for listening to me. It's about time to fucking ride. Yeah. Riding this wet track. I'm going to be explaining the track to me. So the first thing you got to know is I'm on Q3s. Dunlop Q3 pluses. Front and rear. Running 30 psi front and rear. Don't know if that's right for the wet, but it works for the dry. Probably a little low, you know, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, you can see my little charm moving around. She's the namesake for my bike, Nadeko Sendoku, or Sendoku. Nadeko Sengoku. I'm fucking retarded. Look at it out here, man. It's fucking ridiculously wet. The track, yeah, it might not be pouring right now, but it was pouring rain up until maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I started recording this video. And I mean pouring. Absolutely shitting on everything. I mean, the track is just flooded at parts. Like coming up here on the turn 5, there's like you can't really see it, but there's like a river running across the track right there. And then over here on the left, there's like a fucking lake. You can't, yeah, you can see that. I mean, it's like a fucking lake. If you run into that, you're gonna crash. Like, and that's the line. The lake is on the racing line. So like, oh my god. Same thing here on the left. There's a fucking lake on the left. And then we come out here, fucking turn 9. There's like a fucking river running across the track on turn 9, which is just like, if you hit it with any kind of lean angle, your bike is just like, oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you. And then turn 10, normally this is a really fast turn, but when you try to hit it with anything more than like 0.5, 0.6 Gs, holy shit. So This is like my fourth or fifth session. I can't remember how many sessions I did today. I want to say this is my fourth session of 7. I only did 4 sessions today, which is fine, but like, yeah, I mean, getting used to the track is just tough. Taking it nice and easy, having a good time. I gotta admit, I'm having a pretty good time. Just dodging the fuck. There's a river there. Dodging the rivers, dodging the lakes, dodging all this shit, and just trying to keep the bike upright in these like ridiculous conditions. It's good stuff. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to be saying on this moto vlog. You know, I got fucking 25 minutes to fill, and like usual, my bitch ass has no material to fucking fill it with. What am I, like a fucking podcast? That's what this is. This is like a podcast with video behind it. That's the way to treat this. So man, how do you ride in the rain? How do you get the confidence when you know in the rain that the instant you go a little too hard, that you push a little too much, that you give an input a little too quickly or harshly, that you're fucked. You're going down. You're not saving that shit. You're just gonna be on your ass. And that's just the way it is, man. Oh, here we go. And as you can see, look on the left. There we go. We got a rider and a fucking bike on the fucking road. You see me put my hand up because the last thing you want is 2 riders hitting each other, or a rider getting hit by a bike, you know what I mean? So at this point, you know, I know there's going to be a red flag. That guy, you can't really see it on the camera. That guy took a tumble. I mean, he flipped over and over and over again. He just rolled and rolled, and I'm surprised that he was able to continue. You'll see it later that he was able to actually get up and ride his bike off the track, and I'm shocked about that. I mean, it looked like whatever the fuck happened to him looked like it hurt bad. Like, he didn't just slide, like I said, he fucking tumbled. So now, you know, I got my hand up. I'm behind this guy, and this guy ahead of me is a very good rider, and that put the fear of God into him, and he slowed up. But man, he's going slow. Like, he needs to speed up. Like, if there's a red flag, man, that means there's an ambulance coming out. Get the fuck off the track, man. So now we go back into the pits. We're waiting. And now, coming up, we can actually see him. Yeah, you can see him. There he goes. That was the guy. He was a control rider. So, it's time to go back on the track. You know, I saw him come off the track, so the track's open again. Now it's time to, you know, hit the track again, man. Well, man, this sucks. I guess I'm going to start talking about some other stuff, man. I'm fucking back in the nicotine. This is shit, man. Fuck. My fucking sister came, and I guess I'm blaming her. You know, she smokes like a goddamn chimney. And I got drunk, real drunk, and I started smoking cigarettes with her, and man, fucking hooked me. I'm fucking back into it. It reminds me of that Friends episode where fucking Joey is like auditioning for like some role where he plays like a guy who smokes. That's like part of the role. And then Chandler is like trying to show him how to be a smoker, so he like smokes a couple cigarettes to like kind of show him how to be a smoker. And then he's like, boom, he's like fucking addicted again. And that's what happened to me, man. I'm fucking into this. You can hear it. Oh, I'm hitting that fucking E-pen, man. It's called the Joule or J-U-U-L or J-U-L-E or some weird shit. I don't know. You know, they talk about joules, man. To me, a joule is like a fucking measure of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? You can measure how much energy something has in joules. It kind of reminds me of this. You can measure kinetic energy in joules, right? And you do the little fucking equation, right? Energy equals what is it? Mass times velocity squared. That gives you some fucking joules, man, as your fucking velocity increases. I want to reiterate this. So, as we're coming up on this lap, I think my next lap I'm going to narrate a little bit here. We're going to walk through a wet lap with Sterling Moto on Summit, Maine. So this is the final turn. I'm not going to narrate this yet. This is the final turn. So we come up on the straight pretty slow. Coming up on the straight pretty slow. Give it, you know, 80, 90% acceleration. I'm not going full throttle, but I'm kind of just ripping it up. Getting up to, you know, what, 118. Nah, this lap isn't the lap I want to narrate. Damn, I know I go faster as this goes on. I get a little more confidence as I start to explore the track. I'm just I hate to say it, but man, I'm a pussy on the brakes. Like, you saw how early I broke and how unnecessarily early I was on the brakes, you know? I'm just scared. I'm scared to brake too hard and lose the front. And then have, like, that fucking thing where you lose the front and then the fucking bike bucks you off and you do this massive high side. I'm just so scared of that happening that I just brake like a goddamn pussy. And even in the wet, like, I think one thing I learned in the wet is that I brake super, super early. Like, I'm braking almost at the same spot in the wet that I was braking in the dry when I was, if you look at my last Summit Point video from the rear. So that's the next thing. That rear camera view I had, that shit sucks, man. I don't like it. This front camera is the way to go. I wish that screen, I almost want to have, like, no screen at all. I don't fucking need it, right? Do I tuck behind it? No. Do I fucking use it really? Nah, I'm a fucking wuss, man. I ride like a slow little bitch. Let's try this lap. So we come around the last turn. Nice and slow. And we start accelerating. I think I got a little bit of confidence this time. I think. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. 120? Nah, this isn't the lap. I'm following the coach. That's right. So the coach passes me. And I feel like maybe I need to try and keep up with him. Look at how he takes turn one so much better than me. He goes nice and wide there through the fucking river. And I try to get the bike straight up for the river, but he's just like, fuck that. I'm gonna fucking get the fucking acceleration through that river. Now the thing is, this asshole, he's on fucking full wets. I know he's on full wets because I was looking at the tires of the coaches in the pit lane, and they all had fucking full wets except one guy who was on slicks. Guess who that was? Yeah, the motherfucker who crashed. He rode his slicks through one of those fucking rivers while leaned over, and bada bang, bada boom, he's on his fucking ass. But you can tell the coach is being nice. He's riding nice and slow for me, like a considerate person. God, that lake, man. That's not like a fucking puddle. That's like half the track is under like fucking inches of water. God damn. Same thing here on the left. I said it before. You do not want to ride through that shit. You have to adjust your line to avoid it. And then you can see me going straight up there, through there. I just couldn't figure it out. Let's try this lap. Am I gonna be a pussy this lap? I think I'm gonna ride a little faster this time, trying to like maybe not impress the coach, but yeah, sort of show him that, you know what, I can fucking ride a little bit. I'm not a complete and utter fucking wuss. Let's get this shit done, you know. Let's see, 120, 124, 125, 128. Yeah, 129 for a second there. Yeah, we doing it. And I'm actually braking a little bit, sort of. Just gotta remember, man, all you guys on your fucking newfangled bikes with your anti-lock brakes, you got that safety net. That gives you that confidence that you can just brake as hard as you want. And if you brake too hard, you're not gonna high side. You're just gonna fucking brake too hard, and your ABS is gonna kick on. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I brake too hard, and I'm on my goddamn ass. Man, I was supposed to talk us through a fucking lap, and now we're already on turn 4, and I haven't said a fucking thing. Ah. We're gonna have to do next lap. Here we go into the stadium section, as I call it. I like to call this a stadium section. It kind of reminds me of like Hockenheim, the Formula 1 track. There's just there's some stands around the edge of the track here. And when you sit on the stands, you can see like the whole thing. You can see turns 4 through 9 while sitting in the stands, and it's fucking awesome. Honestly, watching races here is great. You can see turns 4 through 9 all the way. So that was turn 9 that we just went through there. So here we go. We're gonna do this. Next lap coming through, nice and slow through turn 10. I'll explain how I do turn 10 next lap. So here we go, onto the main straight. Give it some gas. Again, maybe not full throttle, it's fucking wet. Just take it easy. No traction control. DOT tires, just, you know, nice and easy. Brake at that fucking service entrance. Don't go all the way wide, because all the way wide there's tons of fucking water. Again, don't hit the apex there, because on the apex there's standing water. So don't go wide, do turn 1, don't hit the apex, because then there we go. Go nice and wide, cross the seam of the track, even though the seam makes the bike get nice and squirrely. Coming into turn 3, take it nice and easy. Because honestly, if you start pushing turn 3 beyond like 0.5, 0.6 Gs in the wet, it really doesn't feel good. So here we go, coming up on the turn 4, trail brake into turn 4. So here we go, I'm going to pass this guy, you know, on the outside, which puts me on the inside here. But this is basically where you want to be for turn 5. You kind of want to be on the inside. So normally you want to stay left there, but fuck that, there's a lake. Go all the way in for turn 6. I go nice and wide, like I'm doing here. And bring it back in for turn 7. Turn 8 here. Get the bike stood up, because there's a river. There's a river crossing the track. You got to get the bike stood up. Turn 9. Again, there's a river there. You got to be careful. So coming on turn 9, you can get some nice acceleration. And then we're on to turn 10. So turn 10 has got a really serious river. That's the one that caused the coach to crash. Take it easy, cross that river, stood up, and then tip it in for turn 10. And that's a lap in the wet of Summit, Maine, by your pussy, your resident pussy, Sterling Moto. You can see me pulling what, 0.5 Gs max, 0.3. Like, I don't know. I'm okay with the initial braking hard, but when it comes to braking hard, like into the turn, like trail breaking hard. I just don't know what to say. So hey, those people I passed, you know who you are. That's my buddy. That's my friend. He went on the track with me. Yeah, I'm not gonna name names, but man, that's your first track day. You're doing good, man. You're fucking out here riding your first track day in the pouring rain on 4-year-old Rosso Corsas. Oh man, I feel bad. I mean, the only reason he came out here, he fucking rode to Summit Point from fucking like Columbia, Maryland, which is like super far away, as anyone knows. Okay, not super far. I guess I'm being facetious. It's, you know what, a little over an hour. He rode a little over an hour in the rain. And the worst part is, down on Summit Point Road, he fucking crashed, man. He fucking low-sided on the street riding here. And we talk about his low side. His low side was caused by two main factors. The first one was a very serious lack of tire pressure. Before he went out, we checked his tire pressures, and they were like low 20s. That's not good. That is not the right pressure for Rosso Corsas. That totally fucks up your ability to corner. You have way less grip with those low pressures than you would when the tires are inflated properly. And the second thing was his complete lack of road strategy when it came to dealing with a technical mid-speed road like Summit Point Road in the wet. He went into one of those 15-mile-an-hour corners from the center of the lane, and he stayed in the center. And as all of us know, you know, the center of the lane in the wet is where all the grease and all the oil and all this other shit bubbles up to the surface, and it's not absorbed by the tires of the cars driving on the road. And as we know, you know, what, 99 out of 100 vehicles, if not more, on a road are cars. So you have to ride your motorcycle, you know, thinking that 99 out of 100 vehicles on the road are cars. And man, he just didn't fucking do it. He fucked up and he went down. And God, you gotta hand it to the Mark people. He showed up to the track day with no rear brake lever. His brake lever was just fucking gone from the crash. And that was really the only real damage to his bike. That lever was just gone. So one of the control riders and one of the tech inspectors fucking they drilled through the part of his brake lever that was still there and attached a bolt. So now he's got a fucking bolt for a brake lever. It's fucking awesome, man. I love Mark. These guys are just the best. They're just absolutely the best. So I think this is my last lap. I don't know how the hell I managed to fill this much time with my inane ramblings. It's ridiculous. You know, you put a fucking couple of beers in me and I can just talk and talk and talk. Fucking A. This is what Bill Burr needs to do, man. He's going on and on about, like, fucking flying helicopters and watching Formula One. Hey, Bill Burr, get your ass on a motorcycle. Have some real motherfucking fun. Put your shit on the line and have some real fun, like a man. Like I said, like a man. Like, fuck, my last track day I was getting passed by women. So it's not about being a man, it's just about having some fucking confidence in yourself. having some fucking personal responsibility. So as you can see, man, I had a great time. That was my last session there. The track was just totally soaked. 0.6 Gs is all I could fucking manage with the confidence I had. But it was good stuff. It was fun. I mean, all I tried to focus on there was riding smooth, you know? Riding as smooth as I could. And I think I did a pretty decent job. You know, I didn't quick flick. I didn't sit up. I didn't churn too much or churn too little. I just did everything nice and easy. And I was able to put the bike exactly where I wanted to put it lap after lap. So, all in all, man, great day. Absolutely great day. And you know, I'll take this wet shit over superheat anytime. Alright guys, think about your riding.